What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about our top 5 JDM cars. Now, obviously, this is my own personal opinion, and people are going to have their own opinions on what is the best JDM car to them and what their top 5 is and such. But basically, we're going to talk about my favorite top 3 drift cars as far as JDM cars go, and we're also going to talk about the top 2 drag cars for JDM cars. All of these cars are interchangeable, so they can be drift cars or drag cars. You can make any car a drift or a drag car in the game. It's your own personal preference, but these are my favorite cars to drift and to drag. So we're going to start out with the 1992 Silvia Club K with 574 horsepower. It is more of a crate drifting car and an A-class drift adventure style of car. It's a really great drift build, and I have a lot of fun drifting with it. As you guys know, I do not have my handbrake right now, so all of my drift builds are kind of based on a formula drift style of build where the car pretty much drifts on its own, as you cannot really hit a handbrake. Ignore my bad drifting to start out, as you cannot really hit a handbrake on the wheel while it's spinning, so you really need like some sort of external handbrake, which I have, but I do not have it right now as it is broken. I'm a little rusty in the drifting department, so bear with me, homies. And I haven't drifted this car in a very long time, but this is what I learned how to do crates drifting with, because it's lower horsepower and easier to control. That being said, I haven't really done crates drifting in a while, especially because it's the winter season. So you really can't go to crates because there's snow all over the ground and it's really hard to drift, and there's a lot of like miscellaneous gunk on the ground. But yeah, this is my number. Nah, I'm not gonna number the drift cars, but this is in the top 3 for my favorite JDM drift cars. Along with this is the 1994 Silvia, which I actually am going to put in the same spot. I'm not going to put these in 2 different spots in the top 3. In the same spot as the 1992 and the 94. They're very similar cars. This one's obviously 1,000 horsepower, and I just put these in the same spot because they are so similar. I know they are different cars, but I put these in that same general gap as, or the same general spot as drift cars I really like. In my top 3, and mainly because I wanted to make sure I got the 3 cars I got in the top 3 without taking too many spots up. But this is definitely up there. 1,000 horsepower, super controllable, super fun to drift around in. This is honestly one of my favorites by far. And I might honestly, just edge out the 92 version, just because I do favor more high horsepower builds than low horsepower builds, just in terms of enjoying myself and having fun using those. As for our second car, we have the 93 GTR, which is the R32. This thing is amazing and arguably one of the best sounding drift cars, JDM cars specifically, that there is in the game. About 1,000 horsepower. This thing sounds immaculate. It is insane. The engine is just so nice to listen to, and it's such a fun car to drift. I just love this thing. When you're feathering the throttle, like, that sound is just out of this world. It's crazy. This is one of the most fun cars to drift, just by the acoustics of the engine. It's so nice, guys. This one's so fun. I could sit here and drive around in this thing all day just based on the engine sound. That iconic GTR sound. I mean, it is just amazing. And it just drifts fantastic. Very smooth. Obviously, like I said, I really like those 1,000 horsepower builds, those higher horsepower builds. They just feel really good to me in terms of drifting cars. And this one's just out of this world with how it sounds. Our final car Or what I should actually say is our final drifting car until we get into the drag cars is the 240SX. This car is out of this world. Everybody talks about it as being like, you know, their favorite drift car, their favorite JDM car, especially in Forza. A lot of people really enjoy this thing. Like I said, about 780 horsepower, really fun to drift. Very smooth, very clean, has a very nice look to it and very smooth feel while drifting. I absolutely adore this thing. Another one of those cars that I definitely learned drifting on. It's pretty forgiving compared to a lot of drift cars for the most part. It's really fun to learn on. I mean, drifting this thing in first person is a blast. I mean, once you get that drift cam going and stuff like that, it's really fun. Definitely worth taking a look at and trying out. You can see it's got those iconic pop-up headlights and stuff. Really fun car. One of my definite top 3 JDM drift cars, along with the, you know, like I said, R32 and the Silvia 1992 and the 1994 editions of those cars. For an honorable mention, we have the Mazda RX-7. Now, I couldn't leave this out just because of how iconic this car is. Yes, it is in the Han paint job, and this is one of my most downloaded tunes. It's a very fun car to drive, and it really is one of the best drift tunes that I have made personally, and one of the first ones I ever attempted to make. And this thing is just out of this world. It's so fun. It's super iconic. It didn't quite make the top 3 just because there is better cars out there. And I know I did pick Nissans for the top 3, but that's just what it came down to. A lot of people gravitate towards those as their favorite JDM cars, and I actually held a little bit of a vote between a lot of the people I know to pick the top 3, and this fell in a very close fourth. I am slightly biased, like I said, since it's one of my best drift builds personally, and I'm a huge Fast and Furious fan. It's just an amazing car. It's fantastic, and this build just feels so smooth. One of those ones where it's just perfect. It's just a drift build that just ended up turning out the best it could turn out. And I absolutely love this build. If you guys want to go check it out, you could obviously search up my name for RX-7s, and you will see that this thing feels immaculate going down the road. It's so easy to drift. Like, it is a joke, and super controllable and super fun. So check it out if you haven't. Like I said, this is an honorable mention because it didn't really make that top 3. But anyways, let's jump into the drag JDM cars. Alright guys, so first and foremost, for the drag JDM cars, of course, we have the 98 Supra in the Paul Walker paint job. I know you guys are going to be like, how is this not in the drift side of the video? But, like I said, a lot of these cars are interchangeable. This can be on the drift side. But specifically, this thing is crazy fast. It obviously has the 2JZ, and it is out of this world, especially on the drag strip. I think this thing has a top speed of about 270 miles an hour. It obviously can't hit that in the you know, length of the drag strip, but it does go pretty quick, as we will show you right here. It is a very fun car to drag against friends, especially because a lot of them aren't usually ready for it to be this fast, but it is very fast. So there you go, almost 190 miles an hour on the drag strip. Very cool car, very fun, very fast. And if your friends don't know the power of the 2JZ, you can definitely hit them with a sleeper drag race with this thing. Coming up next, we have the Toyota Trano. This thing is absolutely insane. It is super fast, and that actually is something that makes it very good at rally style things and like the seasonal playground games and stuff like that, because it just accelerates so quick, as you are very much about to see. Ooh, bad shifts. Very quick car, pulling over 200 on the drag strip with bad shifts. This thing is out of this world for dragging, and a total sleeper. So that pretty much sums up the entire video. I really hope you guys like this. like I said, this is all opinionated and stuff like that. Obviously, people are going to have other opinions on what's best. These cars are very interchangeable between drag and drifting, so if you want to try out one or the other for the other thing, absolutely, by all means do. I know that the Trano drifts very well, and I know that the 98 Super drifts very well also, and they are both really fun for that. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. It supports and helps out the channel so much, and thank you so much for watching.